Hey everyone, welcome in. Welcome to RAM Vibes. My name is Shawnee, if you do not know, and this is Infinite Light. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to get to the tarot and the prayer session in just a little bit. I noticed that I'm choppy. How do I sound? Do I sound okay? Do I look okay? Do I sound okay? We're going to get to the tarot and the prayer session in just a little bit. We're going to start at 4 minutes in. For those of you guys watching after the live, post live, I've got a message for you all today. I look at you guys, I'm going to be, I'll make an announcement later because I didn't realize I looked the way I looked. Oh, well. Oh, my goodness. It's amazing how much just a tad bit of foundation makes. It's amazing how much of a difference. Oh goodness. Oh my gosh. It's funny because I went for years. The latter part of my marriage before I left and got a divorce, I went for like a couple of years without wearing makeup. And that's a whole thing. Like, you start looking frumpy in a situation that you don't feel seen or safe in, so like, why even try? But I started wearing makeup again, and now that I'm not wearing makeup today, I'm like, oh. Oh, that's what my face looks like. Okay. And I saw it in the mirror as I was getting ready, but I didn't see it with this lighting. So I purposely did the lighting in the bathroom to kind of mimic like a daytime light, and it's not like this kind of light. So interesting. Anyways. Hello everyone. As you come in, please make sure that you are hitting that like button as an amazing energy exchange. I appreciate your gesture. I appreciate your energy. What that does is it lets the algorithm know that this RAM vibes be popping, and it wakes up other Aries around the world. Say, hey, you should probably stop what you're doing and come into this thing here. All right, so please make sure that you're hitting that like button. It doesn't make sense right now. There's a disparity. There's more people in the room that have liked. So if you are logged into your system, you can even do it on the TV. You can like on the TV. Just push up with your remote. Push the up button. All right, thank you. I'm seeing, there you go, guys. Thank you so much. Now that you have pushed that like button, go on, head over to the chat, shout yourself out, say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to the rest of the fam in the chat, in the room today. Let us know where you're watching it from. Hello to Tosha. Hello to Deborah. Hello to Tammy. Hello to J444. And hello to Cherise. Oh, Cherise, I was thinking about you yesterday. You're from Chicago, right? I like to give people nicknames, and I had accidentally called you Eminem the other day. So I wanted to call you Shishar. That's what I'm going to call you, Shishar. I don't know why, but I started thinking, for whatever reason, as I was making breakfast for my daughter yesterday, I'm like, Shishar. I am calling her Shishar. And you know how we are. We just give people nicknames for no reason at all. You're lucky I didn't call you something crazy. I'm just going to call you Shy Shar. That's it. Shy Shar. So if you hear me say that, I'm talking to you, Cherise. Adrian, hello. Welcome in. 4:14 on the clock. All right. I thought this was a regular live and not RAM Vibes, so that means it is time for us to get started. Good morning, Grand Rising, good afternoon, and good evening to the kings and queens of the Aries community. This is RAM Vibes, and my name is Shawnee. I do thank you so very much for joining me here. If you might notice, I don't have any makeup on. I don't have any makeup on. I looked at my face today and I said, you know what, face? You need a break. My skin was yelling at me. So you get me with all of my freckles. Oh, I'm choppy again. I'm sorry about that, guys. You guys got to let me know if it's I might have to start recording from a different room. I might have to start recording from like the kitchen or the actual office in the house. Okay, so this week's objective, as we're going through the RAM vibe energy of the week of the 13th through the 19th, is growth mindset. And we talked about that the last couple of days. The those who are just now joining us, the growth mindset is different. It's allowing yourself to look at things differently, to learn about yourself and have a different perspective. um, if you were to have a fixed mindset, you might look at situations or things and say, I can't because I've never learned how to do that properly, or I can't because I've got such and such diagnosis, or I can't because my culture says I can't, or I can't because my parents say I can't, or I can't because I only have negative $14 in the bank. A growth mindset says, I can't yet. And it allows yourself to learn a new way of doing things, a new way of perceiving things. So far, some of the quotes that we've had is, I am not my past. And that is a huge thing, a huge theme for this week. I got some quotes yesterday as I was on social media. They're not mine, but I don't know to whom to give the credit to. So the first quote dealing with growth mindset is, by releasing fear, listen up. By releasing fear, you will discover just how capable you really are. By releasing fear, you will discover just how capable you really are. Another quote that I got yesterday is, you must do things you think you cannot do. Do you want your reality to change? All right, boo. Then you must do things that you think that you cannot do. The most successful people in the world do things even when they don't have the plan perfect in front of them. The most successful people in the world generally take leaps of faith. The most successful people in the world take a look at all of their mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. And that's exactly what we're talking about today, is embracing the missteps. What I and Spirit am asking you to do in this new chapter, Aries leader, is to relearn some specific objectives in your life that are going to help you become that stronger version of self and step into a greater or your greatest timeline. And when you're relearning a lifetime of programming, or you're learning a brand new concept, you're there, it is inevitable that you might make some mistakes. Think about a child. Think about a child who is learning how to walk. You might you notice, like, sometimes they're walking just fine and sometimes they're falling over seemingly nothing. It's because they're having to learn the muscle movements and then gain muscle memory. You're same thing. This applies to you, adult Aries leader. All right. So let's say you've got a teenager who's learning how to drive and taking the car out for the first few times. There might be a trash can or two that gets grazed. It's just something that happens in the learning process. If you are learning, Aries, if you are learning how not to get triggered so quickly to anger or angst, or replying and reacting to things. If you're like, woosah, woosah, I'm learning to be different. I'm learning to breathe. I'm learning to feel the emotions. I'm learning not to react. And then one day you're like, ugh, it's okay. That's a misstep. That's something that is worthy of learning from. You are not perfect. Spirit is not asking you to be perfect. There will be missteps. Embrace the missteps. Put that down in the comments down below. I will embrace my missteps. I will embrace my missteps. For every single misstep is a lesson. Every misstep is a lesson. You're going to make mistakes. Has anybody in here ever learned from a mistake? And can give me in the comments down below some ideas of some mistakes that you have made. So I have learned I have had to learn that a non-response is a response. I give people non-responses, but I have a hard time sometimes um, accepting the non-responses because sometimes Aries people don't like being ignored, right? And in my learning of not chasing people, of not chasing, like for a very specific example, of in my learning of not chasing like a man that I'm interested in, because I'm so used to being the aggressor, if you will, being like, hey boo, what's up? You want to talk? You want to be mine? Right? I've learned that if I send a message to a guy or somebody that I'm interested in and they don't respond, I don't need to be bombarding them with, "Hey, what are you doing? So you ignore me now? Like what are you up to?" Like I don't need to allow my unhealed trauma from my past to come up and provoke me to responding. I am learning that, okay, you're not going to respond to me. Well, I guess that's on you because I still have my whole entire life that I'm living right now and that I'm focusing on. I'm learning to do that. Have I had some missteps? Even in my healing, you bet your bottom dollar I have. You bet your bottom dollar you have, and it's just because I've been dealing with men since I was 15 and I'm 43. So since I was 15, I've always been highly reactive, and it's only been the last couple of years that I've been intentionally releasing that reaction period. So let me know, you guys, exactly the same with the emotional eating and spending. Okay, that's it. Okay, and here I am. I'm going to expose myself. I'm letting you guys know I have an eating disorder and I know what my triggers are. And every now and then, the truth of the matter is that every now and then I will fall back into the old the old way of just eating without mindfulness. And that's one thing that I've had to learn. What is something else? Mistakes. Yes, trusting people too quickly. Yeah, because it's inherent. It's inherent in us as Aries, trusting people too quickly. And even though your intellectual mind knows, okay, let's take things slowly. Let's allow them to show me their behaviors and their patterns, and I can trust their actions versus their words. It's hard to not digress and fall back, but it's a misstep, and with every misstep that we embrace, we learn from it. I embraced my missteps. Okay, let's move on. It says, what can be learned from your mistakes? And these are my notes, guys. It's not like I'm reading from some from some book that I got. These are all lessons that I've been teaching for years. But it's what can we actually learn from those, for those of you guys in the back that are still having a little bit of an issue conceptually with, because for whatever reasons you are conditioned to believe that, and maybe culturally or just some sort of conditioning in your past, that mistakes were bad. You can learn what not to do next time from your mistakes, right? You can learn what triggers you, and I brought that up with like the eating and stuff, and even with me like texting and texting and texting. What are you doing? Are you okay? Because my trigger is being ignored. I don't like being ignored, right? It says that you can learn from your mistakes. You can uncover what you didn't see before, the patterns. You can uncover what you didn't see before. You make a mistake. Here's some things you can uncover when what you didn't see before when you make a mistake. You can uncover how other people respond to your mistake. And that is telling. Let me tell you something I have learned about human behavior is that people, when things start going wrong, when you start exposing your true self to people, other people will damn sure expose their true selves. So when you make a mistake, the things that you can uncover is how other people can respond to your mistake, and that's telling. And if you pay attention to that, that can tell you which direction to go with that particular person or those people. I'm learning not to have such an aggressive response to most situations. Hello, Aries. All right, Shy Shar. And then also too, when you make a mistake, you get to learn how you respond to yourself when you make those mistakes. Do you beat yourself up? Are you totally harsh on yourself? Do you go into a depressive state? Do you go into, what is it called, Heather? I know you're here. What did we talk about yesterday? It was an observation overload. What did you say? Inertia sickness? Said something. Tammy said something yesterday. But do you just stay stuck in your head, ruminating over it versus just like saying, you know what? I'm going to quote Aaliyah, pick myself up and try again. What do you do? All right. So you need to reframe the failures in your life. I'm going to say that one more. Analysis paralysis. Yeah, that's what we were trying to get at yesterday. But you said something yesterday that was like super cutesy. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that. Reframe your failures. It is okay to fail. And we talked about this yesterday in my live I did with Heather on tarot gazing. How many people have you seen in your life or just on TV or through reading articles or something like that, like real actual people who messed up totally and had inertia sickness and who messed up completely in their life, like bankrupt, had no house, homeless, and now they're millionaires? How many people? And a lot of time this don't happen when they're 22 years old. How many people have been serial entrepreneurs, and you, like, if you read about some of these billionaires and these millionaires that are out here, they've tried business after business and it just didn't work. You have to learn how to reframe your failures. This business, love, eating, health, finances. It says when you are learning something new or releasing or relearning how to live, you will mess up at times, guys. You will. It's inevitable. You cannot beat yourself up for being a human, having a human experience. Spirit, thank you so much for bringing me here. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your guidance, your love, and your protection, and that allow me to deliver a clear and concise message to those watching. Should anything negative come up, immediately return it to sender. I don't want it on me. I don't want it in my household, and I don't want it on the viewer. Let's go. Knight of Fire. No, excuse me, Knight of Wands. Excuse me, what the? Like, what? Start all over again. Knight of Swords. Here we go. Some people have an aggressive way of speaking, Shy Shar. Not me. I'm not aggressive at all. Some people have an aggressive way of speaking outwardly, but what I'm talking about right now is the aggressive way you speak to yourself. Be gentle. Be gentle. When you're learning to relive in your life, you've got to be gentle. You know, all of those videos and stuff that they have. A lot of us have experienced this. I was literally just talking to Heather about this as well. And this happened to me as a kid, and it happened once with me and my oldest child, just once. But have you ever seen a situation or been a part of a situation where a parent is trying to help a child with math? And this was my mom. Don't you dare get the answer wrong one more time. Don't you dare. And my mom would literally be sitting there doing homework with me with her fist balled up, or with a belt, or with a spoon. This is the 80s now, guys. I'm not condoning it in any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you my reality. And I'm expected to be able to think properly, surrounded by all of this aggression. I'm expected to be able to, yes, me too, baby. I'm expected to be able to learn and take in and absorb, surrounded by all of this stress? No. Guess who has an issue with math to this day? Guess. And I'm not saying, now growth mindset would say that I could literally sit down and relearn some math. I will say I do have college diplomas now. So I did have to redo math like in college, but throughout high school, and I had the option my last 2 years of high school to not do math. I did it. I said, you know what? I'm just going to join the military because it brought me so much stress. And the reason was because my learning environment, in a place that it was supposed to be safe, in a place that was supposed to be gentle and nurturing, it wasn't. So I got just scared and I built up walls, and I just kept saying to myself, I can't learn math. I can't do math. Now I don't like math, but I can math if needed. I've had to relearn. And the whole reason why it was so hard for me to pick up on the concepts, even for my brain to remember formulas, was because the environment had been built in so much stress. You've got to be careful the way that you speak to yourself. Watch the aggression with yourself. You cannot thrive in the energy of aggression. And the very last thing with this is you don't need to go fast. Take it slow. What do they say? You gotta crawl before you walk. I don't give a damn if you're 42 years old. I don't give a damn if you're 54 years old. I don't give a damn if you're older than that. I don't care if you're younger than that. You have got, when you are learning new concept and relearning an entire lifetime of framing, you have got to crawl before you walk. Be gentle with yourself. All right, let's go to prayer, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. There you go. It doesn't make you stupid. You just learn the difference. Thank you. You know what? Dat crazy. I'm just going to call you Dat. Or I might call you DC. 59 and still learning. Hallelujah, Melissa. Let's go into prayer. We're almost done with this 30-minute out, or this 30-minute out. You know what? Let's just get to prayer. All right. Ancestors, spirit guides, gods, goddesses, higher level energies, ascendant masters, and angels, for our greatest and highest good. Thank you so much for bringing us here today. Thank you for waking us up. Thank you for guiding us throughout our evening, throughout our morning, throughout our afternoon. Help us to embrace this experience you call life. Help us to embrace this experience, the love that comes with it, the growth that comes with it, the acceptance, the uncertainty, and the unknown. Help us to embrace the experience of life. We humbly ask you to help us release the fear of messing up, the fear of not ever getting it, the fear of not getting it fast enough, the fear of never being good enough. Help us to understand that we all are already good enough, and we all are already worthy. Help us to release the fear of investing in ourselves and learning that it is okay to do so. Help us to release the fear of seeing our own wishes come true. Guide us towards our loving and giving destiny. Guide us towards the warmth and love in life. Thank you for all that you have done, all that you are doing, and all that you will do. Amen. And so it is, as above, so below, in divine timing and with divine flow. Guys, thank you. What did you say? Call me what you want, but don't call me for fronta. Okay, all right then. All right, cat. Dad, cat. Damn it. Shit. I'm gonna have to relearn how to do this. I shouldn't beat myself up for making mistakes. All right, guys, if you guys have not if you guys have not seen your weekly reading, I recorded that on Monday. So the Aries weekly reading for this week through the 19th, that is posted. Also, I did a live yesterday with Heather from Tarot Gazing. She's in the house. If you have not seen that live, it is a all signs reading. We do love. I do the love portion, and Heather does the what spirit needs to tell you or what you need to pay attention to right now. It is an amazing reading, and I actually really loved it. We're going to be doing something similar to that next week on Tuesday, and we'll see if we can maybe make a rhythm of it. But definitely next week on Tuesday, we will also be going live at the 11:30 a.m. hour, which is New York time. So keep an eye out for that. How you can get notified of all of my lives and all of my reads is number one, subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on that notification button. And I promise you, I am so active on my YouTube. My Instagram, not so much. I'm learning. All right, guys, I love you all. Sending you so much loving and healing and release of fear energy. You have a great rest of your day and evening. If I don't see you before, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. See y'all.